Welcome to my channel, JC Diaz Uncensored. I hope everybody is having a good morning today. We are up early in the morning recording this video for you guys. We finally have a response of the president, coming from the president of the United States, Mr. President Donald Trump, regarding the SNAP program or food stamps. It seems like he is asking to the courts to please explain the legality of how he can distribute the funding for the SNAP or food stamp program. So let's watch this video and we'll go over it. Thank you, guys. We'll go over the video. Play the video, please.
Begin in Washington, where on Halloween, much of our nation's capital feels like a ghost town. The halls of Congress are eerily vacant as a haunted house, largely because the majority of lawmakers have decided not to come together to reopen the government. It is a decision that has conjured the specter of hunger for tens of millions of Americans. 42 million people rely on food stamps, a truly astounding number. Nearly 40% of them are children, and more than 1 million other recipients served in the U.S. military. The food assistance was due to run out in less than 5 hours from now. That was until 2 federal judges in Rhode Island and Massachusetts stepped in this afternoon and ordered the Trump administration to keep the program funded. To do that, the Trump administration will have to dip into contingency funds set aside.
Remember, guys, on my previous video, I brought up the fact that the 2 judges came almost at the same time and declared that Mr. Trump is supposed to distribute the funds or release the funds for the SNAP program or the food stamps. So a lot of people, we're talking a lot of people, can go, 1 on every 8 Americans is on food stamps, so they can, continue to get the food stamp services. And this is the president's response to it. Play the video.
By Congress, kind of like an emergency savings account of $6 billion. That alone won't be enough. SNAP benefits cost the government $9 billion a month. So the government has been ordered to dip into other funds to meet the shortfall. President Trump responding to those court orders just now, posting, "If we are given the appropriate legal direction by the court, it will be my honor to provide the funding." And speaking of SNAP, President Trump says the government in its entirety could, quote, snap back into shape in an instant, he says, as soon as the Democrats play ball.
They've never done a thing like this. They've become crazed lunatics. All they have to do is say, let's go, let's open up our country, and everything snaps back into shape. So there's something wrong with them.
Now, all this comes after a late-night social media rant by the president calling on Republicans to deploy the, quote, nuclear option, that being the complete removal of the filibuster. "Get rid of it now," he posted. "It would immediately end this ridiculous country-destroying shutdown. If the Democrats ever came back into power, it will be done the first day they take office, regardless of whether or not we do it." Now, eliminating the
So it sounds like the president is actually ready to end the shutdown. He wants to get back on the negotiating table, but both Democrats and Republicans are still fighting amongst themselves, and they are not caving into what the president wants. So I usually disagree with the president in a lot of his policies, but this time I agree. It looks like he is ready to get back to the negotiating table, which is what they are supposed to be doing. But his own Republican people and the Democrats, they're still fighting. They still don't want to get back on the table, and the people who are suffering is the American people. Let's continue watching the video.
filibuster means that senators would no longer need 60 votes to reopen the government. They would just need 51, a simple majority. The filibuster question, though, is a perennial quandary for the party in power. Eliminating it with the nuclear option would provide short-term benefit of being able to pass whatever the power and party wants, but it also carries the long-term risk of seeing that same power used against them when the opposition returns to power. And that is why Senate Majority Leader John Thune has repeatedly called that nuclear option a bad idea. But of course, history of Washington is rife with examples of bad ideas that became bad laws. Here to help us make sense of all of it is Leland Vittert. He's News Nation's chief Washington anchor and host of On Balance. Leland, great to have you on the show. I want to ask you, first of all, about this moments ago post from President Trump. 2 federal judges ruled today that the Trump administration must use the emergency funds passed by Congress to fund food stamps. And the president just posted this statement saying if he's given appropriate legal direction, he'll do it. Is this a capitulation? What is this?
No, not at all, because I think the second part of this True Social post, he says that the judges need to clarify how they can legally fund SNAP. I had a long discussion with some very well-placed sources earlier today. It is the position of the Republicans that the contingency funds are not allowed by Congress, are not legally allowed to be used for SNAP benefits. So the question would be, can the court effectively not overrule a decision by the president, which is what Democrats are saying this is, but overrule how the contingency fund was put in place?
So it sounds like they are questioning the legality of how the funds can be used for the SNAP program, because it seems like the funds are set up for different benefits to the American people, but not for SNAP. So they're trying to find the legality. How can they distribute the funds legally, use the funds that they have legally so they can use it for SNAP? It'll be like, how you have your savings account, and your savings account only allows you to transfer money out of the savings account. Some banks only allow you to transfer money out of the savings account probably 3 or 4 times in a month, and no more than that. So it seems like that's kind of like the same issue that's going on here. They have the funding, which is not even enough for the amount that they're supposed to get. They're supposed to get about 9 billion every month or something like that, but they only have like 6 billion saved, like a savings account. But they need to know, they want the judges to explain, okay, can we legally grab this 6 billion and just use it for SNAP, or is that going to be an issue because we have other benefits that we need that money for? So they're asking, the president is asking the judges, can you please explain this, because I guess he doesn't know how this works, which is okay. I mean, he is the president. He should probably know all this, but at least he's cooperating. He wants the American people to have their benefits in the SNAP program and the food stamps. But his own people, the Republicans and the Democrats, because of bipartisan issues for the future, they don't want to do that. So let's continue to watch the video and let's listen to what they're saying.
And they're making the point that this is separate from how the contingency funds are used to pay the U.S. military, because DOD is given a lot more discretion, or Department of War is given a lot more discretion in how they use their contingency fee. So I think that's why you're seeing this very careful language by the president, which basically says the court needs to tell us how we can legally do this. They're saying their hands are tied.
So too soon for people on food stamps, that would be 42 million Americans, to celebrate.
So, like you guys just heard from her, 42 million Americans are at risk of not getting the food stamps or the SNAP program. 42 million people. That's 1 in every 8 Americans. So just because the judges said you have to you have to continue to fund the program. Doesn't mean that the program is going to be funded. Now we're waiting. We got to see what the legality has to be, what the judges will say in response to the president, and say, okay, this is what you need to do. So just because they said you have to keep funding it doesn't mean that it's going to be funded. So these people, if their SNAP program runs out today they don't have any money to go get food. They're not gonna be able to go buy food because their card, because they give them a card. Their card there's no money in it. So even though the judges say you have to distribute the funds, that doesn't mean that they're going to eat today. You know what I mean? Which is an issue. So let's continue to watch.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, you've been taking the temperature in Washington all day, and you are hearing that this nuclear option that the president has been on a tear about is dead on arrival on Capitol Hill, despite all of Trump's media posts.
Yeah, my sources tell me that they're about 15 votes short in the Republican caucus. So obviously, none of the Democrats will vote for this, although there was some talk of John Fetterman a couple of weeks ago who said he might vote for it. But my sources inside the Republican caucus in the Senate tell me that they just don't have the votes to do it. On top of that, as you laid out in your open, I think very well, the fear among Republicans of doing it that Democrats will then do it back, and then the laws of reciprocity say, don't do unto others what has been done unto you, but do it worse. So rather than for funding, it would be used for some kind of legislative priority, something on a.
Like I was saying before, both parties, especially the Republicans, they're saying if we bypass if we drop the filibuster, which means that you don't need 60 people to pass on the SNAP program for it to pass so it can be distributed. They will only need 51. They're scared that the Democrats will use that same tactic in the future to bypass any law that they need to approve. So like I said, this is all about party, and they really don't care about what's going on right now with 42 million people that are about to lose their SNAP or food stamps. And these people were elected to represent the American people. We voted for these people to represent us. And instead of worrying, let's forget about the future. Let's forget about what the Democrats will do in the future. We need to solve this issue right now because we have 42 million people that are about to run out and will not have any food. Will not have any food, and we need to fix this right now. I don't care if it's what is going to happen in the future, what the Democrats are going to do. It doesn't matter. You need to worry about the American people now. Now. And this is what really pisses me off about our government. Our government, we put them in there to represent us, and at the end, they don't give a crap about us. They're only thinking about themselves and their power, how much power they have, how much power the other party will have in the future, instead of worrying about the important stuff, which is 42 million people are about to lose their damn benefits. Come on, guys. Wake up. Wake up. Play the video.
Abortion or something like that. So Republicans are quite loath to go down that route.
Yeah, it's not just that there aren't enough votes to pass this banning the filibuster. Leader John Thune has made this a priority, preserving the filibuster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, exactly. But that's why I think it's a twofold thing. I think, number one, they don't have the votes to do it. Number two, they want to preserve the filibuster. You can argue chicken or egg here, but the fact of the matter is, the votes don't exist, and my sources tell me they probably won't exist for an extended period of time.
I want to get back to the food stamp issue, Leland, because it's so striking. 1 in 8 Americans are on food stamps. That's 42 million people. And contrary to what you see on social media, where there's a lot of wrong things said often, most of the people on food stamps are working. They have jobs. They're just low-wage jobs. How does the richest country on the planet have 42 million people who need food stamps to eat?
Well, it's a great question. You could turn it around and say how great it is that our country is willing to feed 1 in 8 people. There's no other country in the world that's coming close to doing that.
And I completely agree with him. Not many countries in the world have the benefits that the US has. And that's why I'm happy, I'm more than happy to pay the taxes that I pay, because I know that they go out to a good cause, to people who make less money, who people who need the benefits. That's why I'm completely okay with paying taxes. But on the other side, I'm paying taxes and the money's there, but these people are still about to run out, and 42 million people are about to go with no food. So that's where our leaders are failing us. They are failing as leaders. The people that we put there, they're failing. And that's why we need to wake up, American people. We need to wake up. And next time that when there's an election, kick these people out of there. Like literally, vote them all out. All of them, including the president. They all need to go. Both parties, Republican and Democrat, both of them need to go. Put new people in there. New people. But these people that are there right now do not care about the American people. They do not care. Let's keep watching.
Those that tried Venezuela, Russia, or the old Soviet Union, Cuba, haven't done so successfully. So I think, if anything, the SNAP program or EBT or food stamps, whatever you want to call it, is proof of America is great because we are good and compassionate to our fellow citizens. The deeper point, I think, of what you're pointing out is the income inequality issues.
Yeah.
And the idea of grocery bill voters. I said that yesterday to Chuck Todd on the program. You know, we always look for who's going to be the deciding electorate, right? You know, there was always that time about soccer moms, and there's sort of like, this is going to be the group of people who will decide an election. I think you may be coming to a place pretty soon here where grocery bill voters are the ones who are just angry, understandably so, as you point out, to be living in the world's richest country but still struggling to buy food.
Right.
And like he's saying, I believe those same people are the ones that are gonna decide elections in the future. And like I said before, you guys need to, or we all need to make sure we vote the people that are in there right now out. We vote them out, and we give new people the opportunity to serve us, to serve the American people, because these people are failing us. The ones that are there right now on both parties, they're all failing us, including the president. They're all failing us. At least the president right now, it seems like he wants to release the funds. He just doesn't understand the legality. But as far as the parties, you know, Democrats and Republicans in the Senate and the House, I don't think they care about us. I think they are more worried about what's going to happen in the future, who's going to use more power in the future, instead of worrying about the important thing, which is the American people are about, 42 million people are about to run out of food stamps. Let's continue to watch.
That will decide the next election.
Hey, super quick, polls show that nearly half of all Americans blame President Trump and the Republican Party for this shutdown, but 37% blame Democrats, and now nearly half of Americans say they are extremely worried about this shutdown. Who's going to...
I think it should be 50-50. Democrats and Republicans, they're both guilty of what's going on with the government shutdown. It is completely unacceptable. This is supposed to be the greatest country in the world, and yet here we are, almost a month that this government has been shut down. And again, 42 million people are about to lose their food stamps program. I think that, you know, our country is in peril. Our country is going down the drain. If we don't do something something fast, this country is going down the drain. And it's really sad, because this is not the America I once knew. It is not. It's not the same. I arrived to this country full of dreams. I have achieved most of my dreams, and this is my country, and I love my country, and I will do whatever needs to be done for my country. But at the same time, our people we have in power or we put in position of power are failing us. Let's continue to watch the video.
Blink first.
Democrats.
When?
That's my reporting. That's my reporting is that next Wednesday or Thursday they want to get through the election because Democrats want to show their base that they can stand up to Trump. So once Tuesday's election for Virginia and New Jersey governor is over, Chuck Schumer, my reporting shows, will take the handcuffs off and allow probably 15 or 20 Democrats to vote with Republicans to reopen the government.
All right, let's see if that in fact happens. It's right here. We can roll back the tape. Leland Vittert, have a great show tonight in just a couple hours on Balance You. Don't forget to watch it here on News Nation.
All right, guys. So that was the update that I had for you. Bottom line is we still have 42 million people, one in every eighth Americans are about to lose their SNAP program or food stamps, and just because the judges told Mr. Trump you have to distribute the funds, that doesn't mean that the people are still gonna get the funds today. So if you have a family today who is not gonna be able to, who are, they're not gonna have the SNAP program or the funds for it, they're not gonna be able to eat today, which is a shame given that this is the best country in the world. Just because the Republicans and the Democrats, they can agree on anything and they continue with this government shutdown, I think it's a shame, and I think they can do better than what they're doing. And just remember this day, so when it's the next time for election, you make sure you vote these people out on both sides. They all need to go. We need to give new people a new opportunity to maybe do the right thing. This is JC Diaz on my channel Uncensored. This is just an update. As soon as I have another update with this about what's going on with the SNAP program, I will let you guys know. Thank you for being here. I hope everybody has a great day and stay healthy. And we can do this. I think we can. At the end, these people will get an agreement and we'll get this funding out so people can go and get the food that they so much need. Thank you again. This is JC Diaz Uncensored. I'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you. Peace.